develop your execution plan. But the first thing that you have to have is you have to have a money mindset. So you have to get over your emotional intelligence, because some of y'all think that they're going to come and get your vote, that they're going to get your opinion, that they're going to ask you, you know what, come do this survey and tell me, do you think that we should do this? They're not doing that. They're doing it now. They're not getting your vote. They're not getting your opinion. They're not even waiting for you to understand, because they know you don't understand money anyway. So they're not doing none of that. So you have to seek the information out. And you have to get the confidence and belief that you can, one, get crypto rich. And that's by educating. How many say knowledge is power? Knowledge is power. Because knowledge changed my life. Not just my son. My son has knowledge too. But no, seriously. This knowledge changed my life and changed my family's life. Like, I don't never have to worry about money again. And ain't because I got so much of it that I'm just good. No, but because I've learned the skill that I know how to make money whenever I need to. So you have to get the education, the information, and you have to mastermind. You got to get like Mr. Lloyd talked about earlier today on the stage, and he talked about, you know, who you hanging with, who you listening to. And sometimes I forget, because most of the people that I hang around, they're in crypto. So when I meet somebody and they tell me they don't know about crypto, I'm like, huh? You don't know about crypto? No, I don't know about crypto. Or they ask me a question like, you know, I'm gonna let knowledge wait till I call him on stage and tell him that. But they ask you a question, he's like, for real? You don't have no Bitcoin? Oh, okay. So the next thing you have to do is get your investor strategy. But here's the one thing you gotta do. Remember I talked about they give us clues when they gentrify in the neighborhood? And they let us know that, you know, this is how they give us clues. Because not only do the flower beds come and they clear the land, but then the strip centers start coming. And then you see Walmart coming soon. Target's coming soon. And if you're in a good neighborhood, you got Chick-fil-A coming soon. Right? So they let you know, because all you got to do is follow the money.
That's it.
So we follow the money. That's what we do. We don't guess about this. We follow the money. And let me show you what the money is saying. How many of y'all use Cash App? And if you don't, how many of y'all know what Cash App is? Right? Almost everybody here know what Cash App is? Right. So I'm going to this Bitcoin conference next month. But guess who is presented by? So Cash App, that most of y'all use, is presenting the Bitcoin conference, and y'all ain't got no Bitcoin? And y'all ain't knowing nothing about crypto?
Teach Michelle.
Cash App is presenting the big. Did they just give you a clue?
Yes.
Okay. Stay woke. Stay woke. That's what it says. Stay woke. Okay. So let me get back to the slide, because I want to show y'all who else. This is so good. I like it. I love it. I love it. I'm a nerd at heart, y'all, so you know. Somebody asked me the other day, we was doing an interview, they asked me, what would you call yourself? I said, wildly concerned. But, okay, so Ukraine has raised more than $54 million as Bitcoin donations poured to support war against Russia. They in Bitcoin. So now they can cut down their central bank. Yes. But guess what they can't stop?
The blockchain.
Bitcoin, right?
Can't stop it.
So if you're in Russia right now, your ruble is worth nothing.
Right.
But guess if you got some Bitcoin, you good. So if they shut down the central banks right now in the U.S., that means your dollar goes to nothing. Your dollar, I mean, think about inflation right now. Come on, the price of goods ain't going up, your money going down. Right. So if they shut down central banks right now, that means your dollar's not worth nothing, and you can't even get to your money. So what else you gonna use? So Walmart is putting 200 kiosks in its stores. So remember I said Walmart, how do you know that they building up neighborhoods? Because what they doing? We follow the money. They hide it from you in plain sight. So Morgan Stanley, how many of y'all know who Morgan Stanley is? Some of y'all probably got y'all money with Morgan Stanley.
We're still afraid.
Right? They talking about that Bitcoin is rising to replace the US dollar as the world's currency. Michelle didn't say that. This Morgan Stanley that's saying this. But I want to go down even further. And it talks about it's going to progress towards replacing the US dollar. Do not assume that your traditional currencies are the only store of value or mediums of exchange the people will ever trust. This gentleman asked me in an interview, he said, so you mean to tell me somebody just made this up and people are going for it? I said, so you mean to tell me that somebody just made up the dollar?
Right.
And they're just going for it? That's by nothing? Can I talk real to y'all today? Yeah. I was going to do it anyway. I don't know what to do. This is why I got it for you. This is what they tell me that that just happened. I just did something. Okay, so we follow the money. And we get here. I'm trying to get us back here. Okay, we got here. So what is the blockchain? The blockchain is a tamper-proof shared digital ledger that records transactions from a peer-to-peer network, and the permanent record of transactions on the blockchain stores permanently in history of all assets exchanged. So, if you think about the blockchain, and so think about your current banking right now, right? And you have that ledger. When you go online, and you can look on, you can see your ledger of your transactions, but only you can see them. And depending on who you bank with, they're in control. It's controlled by that central authority, right? Well, when you say cryptocurrency, it's decentralized. There is a network of nodes around the world. So think about it like Uber, right? When you was at the cab company back in the day, you had to call into the cab company, and then they had to dispatch the cabs. But then the Uber network came about, and if you was a car, you could just pop up on the Uber network. Well, that's how the blockchain works. And now you can see every transaction that takes place on that blockchain. Yep. Now, you don't know who it is.
Right.
But if you send me some Bitcoin, I can put that address in the blockchain Explorer, and I can see the transactions on that address. Mm-hmm. There is totally transparent. Mm-hmm. It is going to change the way that we operate. You're going to be filing your deed. Your deeds are going to be on the blockchain. You're going to vote on the blockchain. So when they talk about this Web 3.0 that's coming, mm-hmm. It's coming on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. What is the blockchain? Let me just pull this Internet Explorer up for you. Okay, so IBM, let me just play this little video for y'all. Now, y'all know if IBM talking about the blockchain, you following the what?
Money.
Everybody in here know who IBM is? Yes. They talking about the blockchain, they doing stuff on the blockchain. Should you not be paying attention to the blockchain and cryptocurrency? Okay. So, let me just play this. I don't want y'all to believe me. I want you to know it for yourself. I'll teach you how to fish for yourself.
Blockchain. Confusing. Even confounding. You have a block, then another block, and those blocks contain information. It could be any information. As many blocks as needed. Each one chronologically connecting the blocks behind and in front of it. And when new information is added, any information, a new block is added. If previous information or data is amended or changed, you guessed it, a new block is added. The information in those blocks is secure because a blockchain is a digital ledger system stored across a variety of networks. A system that can be programmed to record and track anything of value, from medical records to food supply chain transactions. Most people think cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is the same thing as blockchain, but blockchain is not Bitcoin. Blockchain is the underlying technology that enables Bitcoin, like how an engine can power a tractor or a cargo ship. Let's look at what blockchain can do.
So that's not going to give you the full details detail of a blockchain, and I don't have the time here to do it. But just know this: how many of y'all know how the internet works? But you use it, right? You ain't got to understand it all to get in the game.
Come on.
And Nina talked about that, about we want to overanalyze stuff. We want to let me see. Like I said, they're not waiting on your opinion. They're not waiting on your approval. But this video here, this gentleman, Michael Saylor, first, they're going to talk about.
First one to flip gold, and when it flips gold, it should be about a $500,000 coin asset. But I think Bitcoin's also going to replace bond indexes.
Billionaire investor and MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor has stated the qualities of a good asset in a recent interview. The billionaire invested in big tech firms like Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Google in the past decade. He explains that those stocks were profitable in the early stages because of the firm's unique services, and people had not yet realized how profitable they were. Once millions of people flocked to the space, Saylor adds that the stocks stopped being as profitable as the early stages. He also explains that Bitcoin has all the attributes he saw in those big tech stocks.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it there. They say when more people flock to it, is what is as profitable, right? You in front of something right now.
Come on.
There is less than a quarter of the people in this room that own cryptocurrency. Mass adoption is gonna happen.
It's
whether you
absolutely.
believe it or not. Because if we follow the money, they're telling us, right? Okay, I just want y'all to pay
Plus the advantage of still being in its early stages. Welcome to Savvy Finance. In this video, we examine Michael Saylor's long-term prediction for the world's biggest cryptocurrency. In a recent interview, the CEO shares the development pathway for Bitcoin and suggestions for new investors trying to cope with the asset's increasing volatility. If you find the video interesting, please give it a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy is a well-known member of the cryptocurrency community on YouTube and Twitter. The billionaire is also accredited with convincing many institutions to invest in Bitcoin. Currently, MicroStrategy holds over 125,000 Bitcoin, the most for any institution in the world. In a recent interview, Saylor shares some amazing insights into the market and why he has chosen to invest in Bitcoin. He begins the interview by talking about the big tech firms he invested in after his company went public in 1998. He explains that he was attracted to companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and Google because of their unique services and network reach. Unlike the brick-and-mortar establishments that preceded these companies, they could simultaneously sell their products and services to hundreds of millions of customers. Listen to Saylor's thoughts on what constitutes a good investment.
I saw that the world was going to transform into companies with 1 billion customers, like Amazon and Facebook and Google and Apple. And I thought if you can have a digital network with 1 billion customers and you can ship a product or a service down that network via electricity, then that's an unstoppable competitive advantage.
Right.
So I concluded, Amazon was going to defeat the 10,000 smallest retailers because they had one storefront and they could upgrade their storefront instantly every minute of the day. And that's impossible for a physical bricks and mortar store to compete with.
Right.
And the same is true with Apple. If you have a device in 1 billion people's hands and you can ship a product to it over the weekend, nobody can compete with that. No one else can ship a product to 1 billion people over the weekend for a nickel. And so those are pretty unstoppable franchises at that point. I think the best investment ideas in the last 30 years, they're dominant digital monopolies that everybody needs, nobody can stop. And very few people understand.
And very few people understand.
And Amazon was like that. Apple was like that. Google is like that. Facebook's kind of like that. And Bitcoin is like that.
Yes.
All right,
They all have the same
right
characteristics.
there. I could really stop right there. He gave the blueprint on getting to the money. As Ms. Nina said, I've been getting to the money. So, let's get back to the money. Okay, so I wanted to show you that because I think it's very important that you really look at where the money is going, because I wasn't an undergraduate finance major. I was a political science major. I wanted to go to college to be an attorney, and I had a child at 20, so I never made it down that route. And so I knew how to make money. I had to. I'm gonna keep some type of money going, something. And but I didn't really understand how money worked until I actually went and got my master's degree. And when I started to really understand how money worked, I was like, OMG, we've been hoodwinked. We've been booked. I mean, just let me just say, just think about this. You can deposit $1,000 in the bank, and they can loan $10,000 out of air money, plain money, fake money, whatever you want to call it, and then charge interest on that play money, and then put it on your credit for a collection if you don't pay it. Now, if you and I did it, that would be a Ponzi scheme. But they running the biggest Ponzi scheme, and we still are on this money that's in your pocket today, that's in your bank account today, and you are still talking about something. Let me see what's going on over there. That's just reason enough to at least look to see what's going on over there. Because Michael Saylor, they put all of their cash reserves into Bitcoin, billions of dollars. Why would they do that? So let's just think about this. If you got $1 billion on your balance sheet in cash, and inflation is kicking your butt like it is right now, that means the purchase power of your dollar has just went down. Mm-hmm. So let's just say, they say inflation is up 7%. On $1 billion, you just lost 10% on $1 billion is 100 million. So you just lost 70 million? Just because you kept your money in cash.
Exactly. Come on.
I mean, come on.
Teach, Michelle.
We got to really understand
Teach.
what's going on, not just from y'all in crypto, I mean Bitcoin. No, I'm talking about from
Understanding,
real.
yeah.
Like, what's about to happen in the next few years?
Mm-hmm.
That part, absolutely. So, just for those of you who may or may not be familiar with Bitcoin, this is CoinMarketCap. This is like your Google of cryptocurrency, right? This is where you go and we can look up any coin. And it talks about, it looks at right now, there's over 18,000 different cryptocurrencies on the market. So how do you know what to invest in? You don't know. It's over 460 exchanges. The market cap right now is over 1.7 trillion.
Come on.
1.7 trillion.
Trillion with a T.
1.7 trillion.
Right?
We get excited about $1 billion industry, right? Right. We talk about trillion.
Teach.
And the market is down.
Yes.
We talk about 1.7 trillion and the market is down.
Come on.
Right? So if the market is down, what should you be doing?
Buying.
There you go, because we buy wholesale and we sell to the retail investors. We buy our money wholesale.
Yes.
How many
I
of y'all
like
buy our money
that.
wholesale?
We buy our money wholesale. Love it.
In the last 24 hours, there has been 58 billion in volume that have come into the market. In and out this market.
24.
And it's just getting started.
Yep.
Because less than a quarter of y'all even have
Right,
crypto,
exactly.
right? So what happens when you think mainstream adoption takes place?
Right.
See, because it goes slow to, and then as soon as mainstream adoption, it goes fast. Smartphones just came out in 2007. Did y'all? Smartphones just came out. 15 years ago, smartphones came out. Now you can't be, if you older than 3 and don't have smartphones, you behind. How many of y'all was around in 2006? And remember when you weren't texting yet? Like, I remember the first time I was doing business when he would always be this, he was younger, so he would always be like, text me. I'm like, no, call me, don't text me, because I was resistant to it. I didn't really want to learn how to do it. It was something different.
Yes, she is.
So, you know, like, y'all, what do you say? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
So, I'll just go over this one thing really quick because I don't want to take up all my time. I'm just 7 minutes left. Okay, and so just so y'all see all the categories, you got DeFi. DeFi means decentralized finance. NFTs, Non-fungible tokens.
Yes.
Metaverse, Toddlerverse,
Yeah.
Polkadot,
Yeah.
BNB,
Binance
Solana,
Smart Chain.
Avalanche. I'm not going to go into all that, but you got a lot of categories, right? But the main thing that I wanted to show you on this is when you invest in cryptocurrency, you are investing in the blockchain. You're not investing in just a coin or a token. And let me show you exactly what I mean. Okay. So I'm going to use this one as an example. Let's go. This is a really good example to me. I called this coin at 24 cents. And I bought a whole lot of them.
That's how you do it.
Okay. So when I talk about investing when I'm investing into the technology and not just looking at these coins and tokens for what they are. As you know, I like that name of it. That sounds good. I mean, they got coins out called. I'm not even gonna say that. So yeah, they got coins out. So one of the things we look at when we look at a token, when we do the research on it, right? We following the money. That's all we're doing. They running the nose. They're running the network for this token. We look at the problem that they're solving. So like for instance, Amazon solved the problem. Google solved the problem.
Yes, it did.
Microsoft Word and all the suites, they solve problems. And so that's why we invest in those. That's why we invest in those companies. Apple, you invest in because of the product and the technology behind Apple. You don't just invest in Apple just because it's Apple. And so live streaming today, poor quality. Come on now, don't have Wi-Fi somewhere.
Upset.
What's the Wi-Fi code? I'm using my hotspot. Can I jump on your hotspot? You know, so what's the problem that they're solving? And it's poor quality, skyrocketing data in these centralized, inefficient systems, right? So basically, if you think about it, it's when we went from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And so live streaming is a problem because we run out of the Wi-Fi, our bandwidth, right? We don't have enough bandwidth. So their solution is that viewers earn rewards so you can share your bandwidth just like you can become and share your car and become an Uber driver on the Uber network and get paid. Now you can share your unused bandwidth so you're not at home right now and you're off the grid.
Teach, Michelle.
So that unused bandwidth you could be getting paid for right now on the data network.
Come on.
Because bandwidth is needed. And the more and more users that jump on the internet, the more and more people we're going to need bandwidth. Okay? So, you're welcome. So, when we look at who the leadership is. So we pay attention to their kids. And I'll go back up short. I'm moving this in. But more so, we pay attention
to who's
where
connected.
The money reside,
Come
where the money
on.
reside. We go where the money resides. When you look at who's investing in this company, you have Samsung, you got IBC. Where's the other ones that you would know? When you look at their advisors, you got the co-founder of YouTube. How you know money begets money? And money surrounds itself with more money.
Yep.
So when I tell you we following the money, you got Sony.
You know what?
You got Microsoft, you got Verizon. When you look at their advisors, like they partners with NASA, Lionsgate
Katy
is
Perry.
going to be distributing all of their content on the Theta network. Theta, I don't even have time to go into this right now. Theta owns 5 patents. I'm just letting y'all know these not just coins you buy.
Right.
This is your Amazon. These are your blue chips. This is your 2000 that you got a chance to be in front of the money.
Come on.
And you just need to be educated about what the money look like and where do the money reside.
Teach. All right.
So, So I'm gonna go to one more, and I just want to show you something before I get out of here. So when you look at a token like Ethereum, right? And we look at this right here, I'm just pulling this up. When I told y'all this y'all Google, this your Google. This how we follow the money. We look at what other portfolios is holding it. What bigger play, because I ain't got billions of dollars. Where are the billionaires residing their money?
Yep.
And let me go follow that.
Smart contracts.
So it don't have to be rocket science. I ain't gotta be, how many of y'all gotta be technical to learn that? You just gotta know what you know. You just gotta know what you're doing. You just gotta be educated, that's it. You just have to decide that you're not gonna be in the same place about the money in your pocket as when this new revolution, because it's here. Yes. It's not on the way, it's not coming, it's here. And so you just have to decide where you're going to play that. Where are you going to play it? So I'm going to move along because I don't know. So unlocking the metaverse. So what is the metaverse? Metaverse is an interconnected virtual world where people can socialize in real time to form a persistent user-owned internet economy spanning to the physical and digital worlds. I'm going to make this make sense for y'all. The metaverse is an interconnected virtual world where people can socialize in real time. Y'all go on Facebook? That's a metaverse that y'all playing in right there. Think about it. When you go on somebody's page, now you're on there. So they talk about digital land. I just read an article the other day. Digital land, 500 billion was spent last year in digital land. That's expected to be doubled this year.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you think about the metaverse, think about right now you're renting your page on Facebook. Because Facebook can shut you down anytime. They are your landlord. When you get on the blockchain and you get into the metaverse, you can own your page and you can tell somebody, pay me to come on my page.
Yes.
So think about that. Think about how many times people go live and you like, girl, such and such going live tonight. Let me get on her page. Have you been to such and such page? Well, what if you had to pay a fee every time you went
That
to
part.
such and such page?
Exactly.
That's what we're about to do.
That's what, yeah.
That's the new economy that's about to happen.
Come on.
That you got to know about. So, blockchain and metaverse. It is important to note that the metaverse is not owned by any one person or a company, and there is no single creator or developer. See, what Facebook is doing right now is we call it centralized. That's the centralized metaverse. But if you look at all these, what Snoop Dogg, somebody just paid $450,000. $400,000.
Stay next door to Snoop.
Next to Snoop.
Yep, sure did.
And so think about it like this. What if Texas, there was nothing there? And we just landed and discovered Texas. And there was only so much Texas that could be bought. And we got a chance to buy it up first and sell it to everybody that decided that they was coming. Would y'all like to do that? Yeah. Well, let's go to the top of us. That's what Mr. Kenny Lloyd and Ms. Shantae Lloyd are trying to take you all to, is the top of us. Just to give you some metaverse current facts. Over $10 billion has already been invested in the metaverse by Meta, Facebook, and Reality Labs segment. 10,000 jobs will be created over the next 5 years. It came from the coin metaverse phrase. The metaverse market is predicted to reach as much as $800 billion by 2024, and it was worth $46 billion in 2020.
That's 2 years ago. 2 years. Crazy. Repeat. Nah. Come on, Michelle.
Documentation and conversation.
Every day.
So who's going to play in the metaverse? I am. There you go. There you go.
I am.
Office applications, real estate applications, business applications, education applications. Who's playing in the metaverse now? I'm going to make this bigger for y'all. We ain't gonna let this resistance stop us. I don't know how to zoom in. Where? Somebody help me zoom in because I really want y'all to see this. I need to teach y'all.
Grab, yeah.
Oh, I can see. All right.
No. Yeah, right there.
There we go. There we go. I didn't see that now, right? Okay, y'all can see that, right?
Yep.
This was playing in the metaverse right now.
Everybody already in there.
Nintendo. How many of y'all used to play Nintendo? Adobe,
Xbox.
Google Play, Facebook, Minecraft, for the Xbox,
Already
Fortnite,
in the metaverse.
Meta, IBM, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Nike, all them playing in the metaverse. Do you think that they giving y'all a clue? Or are y'all just gonna keep riding past, talking about what they doing over there? What they doing over there? Okay. So now they won't let me go down. Okay. So